Good day and welcome to this new Scots Traveller video. My name is Graham and I am today going to talk you through some of the areas which we will be passing through. As you can see, we're currently heading south and leaving Preston station. Now, viewers of this channel will know it's not the normal for me to speak, and I would normally tend to use subtitles, but given the current lockdown, well, maybe I thought it was time to try something just a little bit more different. So you can see here the journey we're going to take today. So we're going to travel south initially through Wigan, and then we will move west through the likes of St Helens and Hoyton, and eventually we'll be ending up at Liverpool Lime Street Station. Now, I'm not going to speak through all the video, but I will come in on areas of interest and tell you a little bit about them, and I really do hope you enjoy the journey with me. If you enjoy the video, please leave me feedback. You can leave a comment, and if you have liked this, please consider to subscribe to this channel. Thank you and enjoy the video. So as I mentioned before, we are currently travelling south and we're heading towards Wigan initially. This train doesn't actually stop at Wigan. This was a train on Transpennine Express going from Glasgow Central down to Liverpool Lime Street Station. Now, this is a new service for Transpennine Express. This service only came in late 2019. The traditional way of getting to Liverpool previous to that was by travelling to Wigan, northwest, and then to take a train directly from there, usually on Merseyrail to Liverpool Central or to Liverpool Lime Street Station. And so therefore we now have a brand new service which is very welcome. Now, this particular train was very cheap for me because of a sale that Transpennine Express was doing in late February, where they were charging only £1 per ticket each way to go to Liverpool and then back to Glasgow. Now, sadly, I had booked for 2 weeks later after this to do Blackpool North and to show you around the day in Blackpool. Unfortunately though, that had to be cancelled as a result of the current coronavirus issue. However, we will be doing that again once it is safe again to do any sort of travel moving forward. So we come now to Leyland Railway Station, which is run by Northern Trains. It serves the town of Leyland in Lancashire, formerly known as Golden Hill, which is the name and the street in the area in which the station is based. Was renamed Leyland soon after opening. The original station was built in 1838 with 2 platforms, but now carries 4. Now, this is quite an important station in the West Coast Main Line because it is located halfway between Glasgow and London, some 198 miles in either direction. In the last year, it was carried by 308,000 passengers, which is down quite significantly on the year before, which had 396,000 passengers.
Preston, please. Tickets from Preston.
Now we come to Uxton Balshaw Lane. This was a station that was originally closed under the beaching cuts in October of 1969, but was reopened on the 15th of December 1997. It's run again by Northern Trains, and in the 2018-19 period was served by 62,740 passengers, quite a bit down on 2017-18 when it was taken up by 78,918 passengers. So here we are coming up to Wigan North West Station. One quirk about the town of Wigan is that the two train stations are extremely close to each other. You'll see in the background here now that you can see Wigan Wallgate, and that's approximately 100 metres away from Wigan North Western Station. Wigan North Western Station is served by both Avanti and by Northern Rail, and was the traditional changeover spot for Liverpool prior to this new service from TransPennine Express. The station itself was rebuilt in the early 1970s to a more contemporary style. The tracks are above the street level, and the access to the 6 platforms is via a subway and stairs. In 2018-19, this station served 1.683 million passengers, and that was up on 2017-18, where it served 1.584 million. So as you can see, we're just going past one of the northern depots at this moment in time, and if you keep watching you'll see where we veer off the West Coast main line and we turn west towards St Helens and then on to Liverpool. So we're just going past the station of Bryn. This is a little quirk of a station because it's the only unstaffed station on the Hoyton to Wigan line, which is the only station also outside of the Mersey travel area that is covered through between Wigan and Liverpool Line Street. The station itself was opened on the 1st of December 1869, and in 2018-19 had 161,000 passengers, up from 153,000 passengers in the previous year. So we're just coming up now for Garswood railway station. Garswood is in the metropolitan borough of St Helens, and we're approximately 15 miles now from Liverpool Lime Street station. This is run by Northern Trains, this station, however it is branded by Merseyrail and uses Merseyrail ticketing. The station itself was opened in the 1st of December 1869, and in 2018-19 had 190,000 passengers, but this was a massive drop from the previous year where it had 350,000 passengers. So the next station we're coming to is St Helens Central, previously known as St Helens Shaw Street. This serves the town of St Helens itself. This station is again on the Merseyrail City line, but it is run by Northern on behalf of Merseyrail. The station itself had quite a big drop in numbers last year, so in 2018-19 it was 657,000 passengers, whereas in 2017-18 there was 1.301 million. The station itself has changed quite a lot over the years, and in its current guise it's been open since January of 2007. Sadly, it is a station which has had an accident in the past back in the late 80s. A train leaving from Blackpool North going to Liverpool Lime Street became derailed after it departed the station quite late on in the evening, and sadly the driver was killed during that accident. 16 passengers also received minor injuries. The town of St Helens itself is actually most well known for its rugby league team. 14 times they have been the champions, including the current champions of Super League. They've also won 12 Challenge Cups and 2 World Club Challenges as well as 35 other honours. The most capped player is a gentleman called Kel Coslet, who played for them 531 times and also scored 3,413 points. So we're just passing by the station now of Eccleston Park. This is in the Prescott area of Merseyside. The station itself was opened in July 1891 and is again run by Northern Trains but on behalf of Merseyrail. Last year, 2018-19, there was 72,058 passengers. This was down on the previous year from 127,000 passengers. And talking of Prescott, here is Prescott Station. This is another station on the Mersey travel system, but again is operated by Northern Trains. Opened in 1871 by the London and North Western Railway. In the 2018-19 period there was 282,000 passengers, down on 2017-18 which had 450,000 passengers. So we now come to Hoyton Railway Station, which covers the town of Hoyton in Merseyside. And this was a station that was opened in 1830 and in fact is one of the oldest passenger railway stations in the world. It was modernised in 2010 at a cost of £1 million, and this included putting a canopy on platform 1 and a waiting shelter on platform 2. In the 2018-19 period, this was served by 595,000 passengers, but that was down on the previous year quite considerably by 1.150 million. Almost immediately we come to the station of Roby. We're approximately 5 miles away from Liverpool Lime Street at this particular point. And this station opened in 1830, again is one of the oldest passenger railway stations in the world. This station in 2018-19 carried 183,000 passengers, down again quite considerably on the previous year where it had 338,000 passengers. So we're now coming up to the station Broad Green, another station on the Merseyrail network. We're about 3.5 miles now out of Liverpool Lime Street. Not a huge amount to tell you about this station, other than to say they served 424,000 passengers in 2018-19, down from 692,000 in 2017-18. If you believe Wiki tells us that that was the oldest station in the world, opened in 1830, along with two other stations, one which was called Crown Street and the other one called Edge Hill. Both were decommissioned very early on. A new Edge Hill station to the north, and this leaves Broad Green as the oldest used railway station in the world. These current station buildings are not original, they date from 1972. We now come to the penultimate station before Liverpool Lime Street. This is Wavertree Technology Park Rail Station. Opened in August of 2000, cost £2 million, and that is in the suburbs of Liverpool. In the 2018-19 period, it served 315,000 passengers, down on the previous year of 553,000 passengers. We now come to the final station pass by of the trip. This is Edge Hill Railway Station. This is the second station of its name. The first opened in September of 1830. In 2018-19, this was served by 144,000 passengers, which is down from 2017-18, where it served 196,000 passengers. From here, we go into the Liverpool Lime Street tunnels. So the next stop will be Liverpool Lime Street. Some information just as a point of interest. This is a bit of a haven for rail enthusiasts. There's a large freight yard which is operated by EWS, which mostly sees Class 60 locomotives. The yards are also home to a number of track maintenance units as well, some of which have not moved for a couple of decades. So the next stop we will be Liverpool Lime Street Station. So here we are coming into Liverpool Lime Street Station. I particularly liked the entrance into this station because it reminds me very much of Glasgow Queen Street Station. It has the same sort of tunnel layout, it also has the same sort of canopy in the station itself, and space-wise is also very similar as well. Just to tell you very quickly about Liverpool Lime Street Station, it was opened in August of 1836. In 2018-19 it served 14.221 million passengers, down from 16.032 million passengers. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this journey with me today. If you have enjoyed it, please consider to subscribe and press like. Please also leave me feedback in the comments below if you would like to do so. And I thank you very much for joining me on this trip. Just one last thing to point out to you: watch the gentleman at the very end as he sees the camera. He seems to think it's quite amusing that I'm filming this. Have a great day, thank you very much for your time for watching this, and I'll see you next time for another video.